Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here today with Toonami's ratings from this past Saturday, March 19th, 2022. Let's start at the top of the lineup. At the top of the lineup, we have Shenmue at a .14. Then we have Attack on Titan at a .11, The Assassination Classroom at a .11, Made in Abyss at a .10, One Piece at a .08, followed up by another .08, Narrative Shipping at a .07, and Cowboy Bebop at a .05. Now, this was a really good week for ratings. Overall, this might actually have been the best week for ratings since Family Guy left the block in November. And there's a couple little theories why. One, this was the weekend, though technically the weekend of Toonami's 25th anniversary. And if you know, they had a bit of a kind of a two-part anthology. It's hard to say what this exactly is. More of a, how to say, like kind of a do you remember basically bit. First part of it aired at midnight. There was some buzz from it from people who perhaps hadn't watched Toonami for a while or were nostalgic for the old 1990s, early 2000s Toonami, who might not be watching current Toonami, probably came in and watched it. And also the fact that there was a bit of buzz generated talking about Toonami because of the announcements on the actual 25th anniversary, which was this past Thursday. Most notably, the announcements that we get two more Fooly Cooly sequels, and we got that little blurb trailer, the little teaser trailer for Fooly Cooly Grunge. The first of the two sequels, the other one being Shoegaze. Now, and again, that was something I keep talking about, this concept of the Toonami sphere, like inside the Toonami sphere compared to like the general anime community out of it. This was something that got attention outside of that Toonami sphere, albeit more or less generally for the wrong reasons, but at the same time, any press is really just good press at the end of the day. And I think that made some people who perhaps have tuned out of Toonami maybe a bit curious about the block again and started watching it, as you can see with these, well, let's call them good numbers now, because I don't think, let's be honest, we're never going to see .2 again. Uzumaki might get there. But again, that's a variable for a show that's still probably half a year away. That might get there, and that's purely because of how much hype it's been given. But I think .14, .15 maybe is going to probably be the absolute ceiling Toonami will probably ever see again. You know? And Shenmue hit it this week. Shenmue's generally done pretty alright in ratings. Like, for example, it's done consistently better than Blade Runner Black Lotus has. And that's easier to compare because both of those shows were entirely after Family Guy left the block. Compare that to, like, Fena, where Family Guy left the block during the middle of Fena, so you couldn't make a fair comparison. But even after that, I think Fena was maybe actually not quite as high rated as Shenmue is right now. Yet again, I've started talking to some people who are outside that Toonami sphere, and there's a generally positive reaction to Shenmue. And that might be the type of thing that Toonami needs to see right now. After that, you don't see this here because they only round up to the 100th, but in Showbuzz Daily's actual rankings, Assassination Classroom actually outrated Attack on Titan by a slim bit, which means for the second week in a row, a 6-7-year-old anime, I forgot how old Assassination Classroom really is, like a 6-7-year-old anime outrated Attack on Titans building up to its finale. And again, this just goes to the fact that if you're going to watch Attack on Titan, especially with how much hype was put into this last season, and the fact that you knew people were going to talk about the next day when the sub came out, they just watched the sub when it came out. And that doesn't necessarily mean they'll come back to watch the dub when it gets released on time. I think that's what we're seeing here. Retention wasn't terrible. Losing 300s from Shenmue is not ideal, but I've seen worse retention, even from Shenmue. And you have Made in Abyss going up a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to go into Made in Abyss for a second here. Okay, I know this 10th episode, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, by the way, is pretty well loved because of certain things that happen in it and certain emotions it can swell. I just kind of couldn't like it because of just how freaking stupid Rico is. And I'm just going to leave it at that. She's a raging idiot. She kind of deserved what happened to her. And I don't care. I don't care how much hate I get for that. She's an idiot, and Reg deserves better. Ozen deserves better. Ozen, best girl. One Piece, you know, you can make jokes all day about how it's a ratings drag, and it didn't have the most ironclad retention of Made in Abyss, but it's virtually doubled in ratings from last week, which only happens because the ratings were so low to begin with, but I digress. Something good happened. Naruto and Cowboy Bebop go up a tiny bit. Cowboy Bebop barely went up. Every other show went up like 2, 3, 400s. Cowboy Bebop just goes up 1/100th. And again, I just don't think there's that interest for Cowboy Bebop anymore. What interest there was, I think, kind of got sapped out of people with that Netflix adaptation. I think people just, it's kind of like with Fooly Cooley. People just kind of got tired of Fooly Cooley because of how Fooly Cooley focused 2018 was, with the original re-airing, with the sequels, with rerunning the sequels. I think people just wanted Fooly Cooley to be done with for a while. And to this point, nothing Fooly Cooley related has appeared on Toonami since until we got this blurb trailer for Fooly Cooley Grunge. So I digress. I think that's what's happening. What do you guys think? This was a pretty solid week for Toonami. We will have the same schedule next week, this upcoming Saturday, the 26th. Leave your comments, leave your opinions down below. I'm the Super Orange Cat, and that is all.